Hey, what's going on YouTube? Mark Tominik here, Andrew Wee behind the camera. We are at Competition Body's gym, which is my family's gym. We're always gonna be training here. Every time you see training content, we will be right here for the most part, unless we travel for some reason, which it may happen. But today we are gonna hit legs. Now this leg day is going to be both bodybuilding oriented and functional related. So it's gonna have many different aspects. We're gonna basically start with some dynamic movements to get myself prepped and ready for the actual workout, basically working on different movements or warm-ups essentially that will help me prevent injuries or basically antagonize anything that has been injured in the past. Then I'll start some with auxiliary movements to strengthen some weaker parts to help me get stronger in these areas to basically prevent injury in the future. Then we're gonna go into our big movement, which is gonna be squats, Smith squats specifically. Then it's gonna be a superset of leg extensions, leg curls. Then we got some walking lunges that are basically farmer's carry oriented because we're gonna be holding these weights, heavy weights. And then we're gonna finish up with sprints in the parking lot, which is gonna be more of our functional aspect to this workout, which is gonna be pretty damn hard in itself. So starting with the dynamic movements, I'm gonna start with this groin warm up where basically I'm working on bringing tension in this almost kind of like a split oriented crouched position where I'm gonna be bringing tension in on my adductor, activating my adductors, getting them primed, getting them ready. Then I'm gonna go into some hip cars to work on my hip mobility. Then we'll go into our auxiliary movements. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's workout. We're gonna get started. Okay, so first movement here is going to be my adduction and warming up my groin, getting that to fire. So my objective here is essentially to pressure in, and I'm pulling in like I'm trying to grip the ground and bring it together. And I'm gonna hold for like 5 seconds, then I'm gonna release and then stretch even more deeper into this almost abduction and then adduction tension once again for 5 seconds. And then I'm gonna go ahead and release and continue to try to stretch further and further to my end range. Not only strengthening my groin, but getting it primed and ready for the movements we're about to do, because the first weighted movement we're gonna do today is the adductor, which we're gonna load that thing up and go crazy with it. All right, next dynamic movement here is gonna be hip cars, working on the functional range of my hips. So my objective is to bring this leg up, rotate out, and notice I'm keeping my pelvis super stable. Then I'm gonna rotate my leg inside the hip capsule, bring it all the way around. Now to bring it back, I open my hip, rotate through, bring it in, down, and continue to repeat. Now I'm gonna do 5 reps on each side of this to get my hip opened up and warm, so that way when I go into my squats, I have really good range of mobility. All right, first 2 movements up is going to be adductor here and then hip thrust over there. So my major points of focus for me with my functional therapist, which is Danelle at Antidote Therapies, is going to be strengthening my groin and my adductors here. So we're gonna be working on this, and basically my objective here is to have 3-second isometric holds in the middle. It's a great way to overload this exercise with still going a little bit lighter, especially if I've had injuries in the past. Just take it, I overload this point by holding longer. And I can do the same on the hip thrust because I have weaker glutes as well, and I need to strengthen my glute max. I'll be holding at the top of those as well on that the contraction. And that'll be a 3-second hold as well. And I'll slowly just keep working up until I get to my top set here. All right, we are on the Smith squats. This is my biggest movement and my heaviest movement. I got 2 top sets here. First top set's gonna be 8 to 10 reps heavier, and then I'm gonna back off, do a back off set of like 12 to 15 with some lighter weight. But the biggest thing I wanted to kind of note here was my stance. A lot of people try to, squat in this narrow and this narrow kneed stance with their knees basically moving over their toes straight, and they're forcibly trying to keep their knees in. And what happens is they get a lot of pinching right in their hips. So to avoid that, what we need to do is change our stance, change our toe pathway and knee pathway to get the most hip accessibility, which is basically what I was working on in the beginning of this workout with my dynamic movement. So what I'm gonna do is turn my toes out. I'm gonna allow my knees to V out when I squat down. So my knees are gonna move away from my body, allowing me to access this bottom depth in my hips. So that way I can take these full range all the way up, all the way down without my hip mobility limiting me. All right, so we are done with Smith squats, and I'm not gonna lie, the 2 top sets there absolutely destroy me. So now we're gonna be in seated position, so taking a little bit load off of our bracing abilities here, like lower back, core, or abs, and we're gonna be doing leg extensions for quads, and then I'm gonna go straight directly with no rest in between to leg curls to hit my hamstrings. My objective here is 2 top sets. One set, the first top set superset is gonna be heavier, 8 to 10 reps. Then I'm gonna go to a back off set, 12 to 15 reps, stay in that higher rep, and just rep it out till I can't move it. If I go past the 15 reps, cool, let it rip. That's the goal here, hit failure each one of these. All right, our superset is done and completed. We are on to our last weighted movement of the day, and this is where it gets a little functional. So we kind of take a side step from the controlled, weighted, stabilized movements to a walking weighted lunge, where I'm gonna basically be farmers carrying these dumbbells, no reps. So working on grip strength here, working on bracing in my core and strength there, working on getting all the way in the deepened range of my my lunge, and my stance or my stride is gonna be a little shorter. I want it shorter so that way my knee angle is a little bit sharper. I get a little more quad activation and engagement, but also the proper glute drive that I need to get out of the hole and to carry me into my next rep. So this is gonna be a little functional, definitely really tiring. I got 2 top sets, one heavier, 8 to 10 reps. The second top set is gonna be 12 to 15 reps to finish this off, and then we're on to sprints outside. All right, guys, that completes the leg day. This leg day, again, being more power, functional based, but still having some of your bodybuilding style or esque movements in there, right? That controlled, braced format, but everything that we did was to failure. Getting to that point where you have to force your body to make the adaptation, right? Giving it no choice but to adapt, but to acclimate to the force you're putting upon it. That was the goal today. So, this workout really blends well with my jiu-jitsu training that I've been doing. And we'll get you guys more exercises and more workouts that not only, I do personally, but also stuff I do with my athletes when I bring them in here for, the people that are bodybuilders. But yeah, we wrapped up everything. We did the dynamic movements, getting us warmed up. We did our auxiliary movements for injury prevention and strengthening weak body parts, into our power-based movement, and then into some bodybuilding, supersetted movements, into our very functional, walking lunges that the farmers carry, added on top of that. And then the sprints outside, which you guys are gonna see a couple of that. But for more content like this. Make sure you guys subscribe, like my content. You can find me on Instagram at mark.tominic, and I'll be there to answer any DMs, any messages, show love, share the video, and I appreciate you guys.